and obviously a very frustrating weekend, and also address the injuries and how those are looking, especially.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thanks for asking. I think, big thing for us is, we're on a roll after winning three big Pac-12 games and playing very well. We went down to the desert. And Friday the 13th was absolutely the horriblest, worst day of our lives, I think, almost. But, tough to see Cam go down early with the head injury. Fortunately, she is doing well. She's back in Pullman, recovering, and we wish her the best with that. It's something that's day to day with her and all that. But I thought that our training staff and our doctors did a great job, as well as the hospital down there down there in Tempe. And then Melina suffered a knee injury in the game late in the second half, and she's still being evaluated by our doctors. She did have some medical tests done this morning. Those results are not back yet, but not very optimistic that she will return this year.
Wow. What did you tell the gals after the game on Sunday?
Sunday after the Arizona game. I thought that we competed pretty hard in the game. We're dressing 9 players right now that due to losing 3 starters now to major injuries. For them to just keep improving, that's what we've talked about all year. Is each day we step out on the basketball court, film session, individual meetings, workouts with coaches. That you have to be able to just get better. And so we talked about that. I thought that we had so many unforced turnovers in that game that we've got to get ourselves back into the gym and have a lot more poise against the pressure that we saw with U of A.
Finally, Borislava and Brown. Any possibility that they'll be back anytime?
Both of them have had foot injuries. Borislava obviously happened up at the Gonzaga game, and Brown earlier in the season. They are both still in boots. Borislava is still on crutches. So, right now it still doesn't look good. It doesn't look good for either one of them to come back this year. I know that our medical staff and both of our student athletes are working really hard with all the therapy. But, when you have those type of injuries, sometimes the body will heal faster, sometimes slower, and so we just don't know. But, we've had Lou on the floor about 5 minutes a day, 5 to 7 minutes a day, just some skill work, what have you. But she gets pretty sore, pretty tender, and, has to go right back into the boot. So, we definitely want to be cautious with both these kids. These kids, both of them, have big-time, long-term basketball careers. And so we want to make sure that they're completely healed before they're out there and compete again for the Cougs.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you guys. Sorry, it sounds like a MASH report, doesn't it? And I've never seen anything like this to lose 3 starters in one season. But really love how good our team is playing and continuing to compete. I think that one of the things that 2 things. One is that in the long run, these young kids will really benefit from kind of being forced in the majority of playing time that they're playing right now. And 2, I think it really shows how well we have recruited in this program, because these young kids are very, very talented. They're not experienced, but they're very talented, and they show great future here for Washington State.
Hey, June, this is Anne-Marie Anderson. I haven't called one of your games yet, but I'm talking about you every week while I'm waiting to have you on my schedule in a couple of weeks, and I want to make sure my messaging is correct. As we see you take tough loss after tough loss. And so in terms of going forward, what kind of role, I saw that Penelope got her first start at Arizona, what kind of a role is she going to have? And, does your offense style change?
I think that, Penelope's played a lot of minutes in the program the last couple of years, and she's very capable of playing more minutes and producing at a higher level, and she's had some fantastic games this year. And so, I think that she just has to go out there and know that the coaching staff and her team is very confident in her, and she has to be confident in herself. I think she'll do that. This is a kid that has played for the Greek national team for several years and been their starting point guard. So, her minutes will probably go up. Crystal McKenzie is back into action a little bit more than what she was early in the year because of Chanel's injury, and her too. She's just got to step up with her role, step up with her consistency, and I really believe both those young ladies understand how confident we are in them, and they'll do a good job. I don't think offensively you're going to see us change a lot of things. I don't expect that. I think it's just us continue to refine things and continue to get better. That's the process right now that we have to do at every position. But, maybe a little bit more so with them right now just because they have to do a little bit more.
And what kind of role is Bobby, for example, playing? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go. That's fine. I was just going to ask, what kind of a role is Bobby playing emotionally with the team? A leader. What kind of role is Lou Brown playing kind of in terms of encouragement emotionally?
Yeah.
As, you guys have taken a few really tough blows.
Well, I'll tell you, Bobby and Lou, this is a whole different role for them to be sidelined and know that they can't go out there and physically help their team improve, get better, win. And it's been an adjustment for both of them. But I cannot tell you how proud all of us are as a coaching staff and as a program to see both of them, they engage as much as they can in practice. Again, they're limited, especially with Bobby on crutches. But they're very vocal. They're very positive on timeouts. I think Lou in particular has been phenomenal. She has jumped right into timeouts and tried to help the people that are playing her position or just to encourage her teammates overall. Both of them have shown great leadership that way. I think both of them are learning, it's a tough thing. You go through the injury like that and you can't go out there and play, but they're learning and really appreciating, when you are healthy, they have more gratitude for that. And they know in their hearts just how much more they love the game, maybe more than they ever thought they loved the game, just because it's been taken away from them. But both of them have been very, very positive, very excited for their teammates and the improvement that they've shown. And I think that not only is their encouragement so important and their positive attitudes, but also the fact that that they show that they have confidence in these young kids going forward and the improvements that they're making and the good play that they've played.
I believe we had a question about Penelope coming. No? Whoever missed the question, go ahead.
Hey, June, this is Stephanie Lowe with the Seattle Times. I mean, what did you kind of tell your team, going into that game, that second game in the desert against Arizona, that close loss? Like, they just lost, the third starter of the year. How did you kind of get them going for the game and get them focused?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys had a chance to see it, Stephanie, but I thought our kids came out and really played hard. I thought that it was very, very obvious, and that they all understand that they're playing for something bigger than themselves, and that speaks volumes about the character of each individual in this program, in this team, and I thought that I think kids know that their roles have changed and the playing time has increased with the 9 kids that we can suit up right now. And I think that they welcome the challenge and they're excited about stepping out there and showing that they can get it done for each other. So, there's not a lot you have to say to this group. I mean, it seems like we've, had a lot of adversity all year. The only thing that we said after the injuries at ASU is it's just like it's been all year. Somebody else has got to step up. Somebody else has got to be ready. And we move forward. There's no sense dwelling and getting down about the negatives, about the injuries, and all. It doesn't do anybody any good. And I think the other thing is Chanel was phenomenal after her injury. She was a lot of smiles on her face, a lot of positive talk. Hey, don't worry about me. You guys go out there. You can get it done without me. I believe in you, type things. And, no tears, nothing. And that just tells you a little bit about the champion that she is, to be able to go through a tough injury and be in the pain that she was in, to kind of put that behind her, Stephanie, if you will, and just make sure that it was all about the goodwill of the team.
And just to clarify, with Cameron, was that like a concussion, or what is she kind of dealing with currently?
Yeah, I think that Ben will be able to do a medical release, if you will, on both of our student athletes as soon as we get some things finalized from our medical staff. Again, still going through a lot of tests and stuff, but right now, I can't tell you officially what they would call that. Cam took a charge, and as she fell, she was the other athlete from ASU fell on top of her again, so she got hit twice. Once in the back of the head, once in the front of the head, and the nose, and all that. So she got hit pretty hard, and was in and out of consciousness on the floor. Was transported with a neck board and neck brace and all that to the hospital in Scottsdale. Boy, I tell you, I can't praise our trainer Mallory and the medical staff in particular at the hospital for how well they responded and the quick testing and everything that they did. So we'll get back to you guys on that, maybe hopefully this afternoon when we know a little bit more what to officially call everything and to make sure that we're telling you the exact story.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
Any other questions on the line? One last thing then, Coach. Against Washington, a tough opponent, but even more importantly, Cougs have heart is this weekend.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that real quick?
Yeah, it's a phenomenal thing in our 10th year to be able to dedicate a game at Washington State to Cougs Have Heart. It's all about making sure people are aware of heart disease and the horrible numbers of people that die every day in this country and around the world because of heart disease. It's also about education for CPR, about heart improving your chances of not having heart disease. A lot of things will be going on during the program, during the game to help build, educate the community on how we can become more healthy, and so it's just I really appreciate the fact that the athletic department here at Washington State and the university takes that message so seriously, and are we able to relay that to our fans and anybody that comes to the game.